who roles in my life have transitioned. I've transitioned to a new job, a new place. And so I had a problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and sound like a guru, but I had a problem with this thing that everybody is not meant for a lifetime. Because I love connection. I love relationship. God made relationship. That's why He made Eve. He said it's not good for man to live. So here it is. And so I'm thinking, okay, if you come into my life, you're meant to be here forever. And so what I was I, have you ever looked around one day and realized the people around you were either helping you or helping you grow or keeping you the same? And so your future is not built around, whether we realize it or not, your future is not built alone. The people we spend the most time shape our thinking, our decisions, our confidence, and often the direction that our lives even goes. So every relationship is influencing you on who you're becoming, where are you going. And so I want to invite you here for another episode of Legacy Builders Podcast. I am your host, Jaheim President. Hopefully I'm your favorite podcast. And so here it is. You don't accidentally build a meaningful legacy. You really don't. You don't accidentally do nothing. The people you allow into your life will either help build it or they'll slowly, and I do mean slowly or quickly, tear it down. And so the main idea today, we're talking about your circle. Who's around you? Who are you letting into your heart, your mind, your ear gates, that's influencing your decision? And so the people around you shape you more than you can even realize. More than you think. There are people around you that are influencing your very decisions. Somebody could have shared this podcast with you because they want to go better. If you get a podcast from me, if you get to share from me, I want you to get better. This whole podcast is because somebody influenced me. Like, Jaheim, you be spitting facts. You need to help out. And so here it is. The people closest to you influence your mindset, your beliefs, your ambitions, and also they sometimes influence the very standard that you live. And so every relationship, whether it be your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your best friend, closest friend, your co-workers, every relationship that you have in your life is influence you, and they carry influence. And so people can normalize either your growth in life or even sometimes your complacency in life. Sometimes in life, I can tell where you're going, not because of what you said, but because of who's around you. And here it is. Do you begin to think, speak, and act like the people that you spend the most time with you? I promise you, y'all, I grew up with my grandparents. I grew up, they're heavily influencing my life. And there are things that they do, there are things that they say that I know are a direct influence on my life because I do the same thing and I can trace on where they come from. So just a minor example, my granddad growing up always parked far away. And as a young boy, I thought, this man is crazy. Why is he parking all far away? And he would say, it's good to get the extra walk, or you park up close, somebody will beat up your car. So here it is. When I got my first car, it was a Scion TC, Miss Air Force One. God, I love you. And so my friend Nicole, she always gets mad at me because even in my Scion TC 2009 Scion TC, I was parking far away. And my response with her, she would always ask you, "Why are you parking away?" Because I don't want nobody to beat up my car. She said, "Well, this ain't nothing special." Yeah, I said, "Well, when I get my special, I already have that habit." Where did the habit come from? My granddaddy. And so that is one positive influence, but here it is. There are also some negative influence that come from your circle. Here's an example. If your mama always told you that you wouldn't be nothing, or if your mama always said this about you, you're gonna think that because that person influenced you heavy. And so here it is. Success is not only knowing how to do something, but is also knowing when is the right time and when do I have the right people. Because here it is. You look at every Super Bowl, every NBA final team, every championship team. Yeah, they had a star, but the star had to be built around good teammates. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was great, but then he became even better when he got Scottie Pippen. So you have to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was great. He was a great player. But once he got connected to Steph Curry, here it is. And so once you get the right people into your space, it can lead you to the very environment that you're destined to go to. And also it can lead you to the very environment that you want to go to. So here it is. Who do you spend most of your time with? How much time are you spending with that person? And you have to realize, are those people? And I'm not talking about just like romantic relations. I'm talking about friendships, even some family members. And here it is. You have to say, how much time am I giving that person? How many time am I giving this group of friends? How much time am I giving them? And then here it is. What habits have you picked up from being around them? And it's not just sometimes you got to sit back and watch. My friend Michaela, she is silent. She don't say a lot of stuff, but here it is. Michaela is a very observant person. Michaela she's very smart. And so when I first met her, I was like, why Michaela never said anything? And then once I started to learn how she moved, and she would pick up on stuff and then she would tell me later, I'd be like, no. And then I had to see it for myself. And so now I don't really talk as much. I observe. I observe my surroundings. I observe people. And here it is. She called it her ebook. I've learned a lot from Michaela from just being around her, from learning, from watching how she moved and seeing how she progressed in life. And so that's one positive habit. Now here it is. There were friends in my past that are very negative, very, toxic in a way. They always complain. And here it is. I'm a very positive person. I really try to speak positive into people's life. I don't really do all that negative stuff. And so here it is. I had to realize that positive, being around certain friends, I would get negative all of a sudden. And then I would be like, what in the world? Where did that even come from? Like, I was having a good day. Then I called so and so called me. Now I'm in a bad mood. And I had to realize that came from being in those environments. And so here it is. You got to ask yourself, are your relationships moving you forward or keeping you comfortable? That's one of the dangerous things in life, is to be comfortable and to their comfortability to lead to stagnation. Here it is. I'm not saying life is not going to bring you to a comfortable place, but here it is. There is always a progression in life. And so if you start looking in your life in about 5 years, you're still in the same place and the people around you are still in the same place, you have to say, whoa, where am I going? Whoa, we all broke? Whoa, we all not in a relationship. We all this. We not. There's no progression in our friend group. All we doing is just reminiscing on the old times and the good times. No, I don't want that, and neither should you. Because here it is. I don't mind reminiscing on the old times, but guess what? There's good times still ahead. There's still good times. And so you have to realize, and here it is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in life is you have to look at the seasons of your life and you have to realize, is this relationship still for the season? And so here it is. Some people are just meant for a season. I know. I know it is one of the hardest things. It is one of the hardest reality. I tell you, this last season of my life has been kind of different. There have been some people that have left. There have been some people that have been added. There are some people who roles in my life have transitioned. I've transitioned to a new job, a new place. And so I had a problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and sound like a guru. But I had a problem with this thing that everybody is not meant for a lifetime. I had it because I love connection. I love relationship. God made relationship. That's why he made Eve. He said it's not good for man to live. So here it is. And so I'm thinking, okay, if you come into my life, you're meant to be here forever. And so what I was doing was I was kind of dragging people along who they knew that their season in my life was up, but I had said no, 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 I no, because here it is. It was a fear of missing out. It was a fear that I had to do it alone. I had to start over. I had to do this over again. I had to meet new people, start relationships. Here it is. I moved from Charleston, where I was from. I moved. I went to college in Charleston. God opened the door. Um, and I knew everybody. It wasn't, I didn't really have to adjust as much because I always had a safety net. I could go back home and go. I had grandparents' house. I had my mama house. My parents' house, and I had cousins. You know what I mean. And so moving up to Greenville, I had realized there were some relationships, some friendships that would never be the same anymore because I wasn't in Charleston anymore. And so here it is that required me to start over again and to realize that I got to make new relationships. These new relationships are going to help me in my new season. And so it's hard. It is hard to grieve someone and to grieve something, friendship, relationship, for somebody who's still living. Someone you can still see, someone you can still check on, someone that can still at random times check on you. But then here it is, growth often changes your priorities and your circle. Different circles require different priorities. Different things. And here it is, you got to be wise enough and you got to be stable enough to know those boundaries. To know that, hey, this circle prioritized this. This circle prioritized this. Sometimes you can't mix circles. Sometimes you can't mix friend groups because what they talking and what they talking about over there. And so here it is. Creating distance doesn't always have to be a conflict. When you leave something, if you leave something well, if you leave something right, if I leave the right way, there ain't gotta be conflict. I don't gotta hate on you because you left me. I don't. For everyone who is not my friend no more, for all my past girlfriends who are on in better relationship. See, I'm the ex that says, I thank God for you. I thank God. You added something to my life. You made me grow up in a way. Oh, come on. You made me love in a different way. Here it is. But I don't hate you because you left me, because you're no longer with me. I don't. I don't. For all my old friends who I were close to, I'm still friends, but I'm not as close, or who are no longer friends with me, I don't hate you because when you were in my circle, you was in there for a reason. You came into my life for a reason. Maybe you came in to hurt me, and it did. It did. Some people come to hurt you, and it does hurt you. But I learned something from that. I learned how to, okay, maybe I can't be as trustworthy. Maybe I can't let everybody into my inner circle. We can be friends. See, we toss that word friend around a lot. We toss the word bro and sis around a lot. Oh, hey bro, hey sis. And because some people are really trying to gain access to you because they're really trying to knock you down. And so here it is. The only way they can knock you down is they got to get access. So some of the times people will examine themselves as friends. They ain't your friend. My mom used to always say, they ain't your friend. I'll be like, Mom, what are you talking about? And she was like, so and so is not your friend. You just gotta accept that. And me being so trustworthy, I'd be like, no, 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 no. They didn't mean to do that. Or no, they ain't like that. Yeah, they like that. And so it's healthy to realize where you even outgrown certain environments. I'm telling you, y'all, it is one of the worst things in your life you can do is to stay in an environment that no longer serves you. I'm talking job, marriage. I'm talking family members. I'm talking relationship, churches, anything. If it no longer fits your environment, you got to get out of there. You got to get, if it no longer fits your environment, you got to get out of there because here it is. This is a place where you got to go better. For real, it is. And so you sitting around here trying to figure out why somebody left when you got to know here it is. Different seasons require different places. And so here it is. Have you ever felt guilty? Like I felt guilty because I was starting to examine, what did I do? Did I leave so and so? Did I do so and so? Did I let so and so go? No, you didn't let so and so go. So and so had to leave. So and so had to be. You don't feel guilty for that. There ain't no reason to feel guilty for that because they were going to leave regardless. And so here it is. How do you know when the relationship or your friendship has run its course? Because they'll start acting different. I promise you, there'll be signs. People have patterns. When their patterns start to change, you better be aware. You better pick up on some stuff. You better learn some stuff because I promise you they're changing. I promise you they're giving you signs. Here it is. You can't be naive. You can't be naive and not realize what the signs are. Lord, technical difficulties. And so here it is. You really have to examine and you can't feel guilty. But here it is. Building a circle that surrounds you, that challenge you. Here it is. I don't want to be around a lot of yes people. I don't. I don't want to be around a lot of yes people because those are the people that'll never tell you the truth. Here it is. Healthy relationship doesn't just support you, they scratch you. Here it is. But they also support you. So if you have people, it is a balancing act, y'all. Because if you have people that are all always tearing you down, always doing this, always doing that, but and never support you, that's dangerous. And here it is. If you have people that's always supporting you but never telling you the truth, that's dangerous. I need a mixture of both. I need my friends, the circle of friends I have, they gonna support, you know, and then they're gonna tell me, Jaheim, no. Jaheim, you look a hot mess. Jaheim, no, fix it. Jaheim, no, do this, do that. No, Jaheim, come on, man. Come on. How many times you complain? And so here it is. People, here it is. Everyone needs different type of people in their life. First, everyone needs some type of mentor. So the mentor are people who have experience and wisdom, and they help you avoid mistakes and broaden your perspective. Here it is. Okay, everyone needs peers, aka friends, people who challenge you to grow, people who celebrate your success without competition. Well, unhealthy competition, because there's always is competition is good. Healthy competition is good. All right, then here it is. You need people you're investing in. because you got to give some support too. So here it is about pouring into others. How can you help while you pour into me? How can I pour into you? And teaching and encouraging people to continue and to move forward. And then here it is. Those are the people you need. And then you need people, you need accountability people. You need accountability partners. I have accountability partner for the gym. I have accountability partner for my eating right. I have accountability partner for this podcast. There are people who are like, well, Jaheim, come on. You said it, not us. You said it. And so I'm going to keep you accountability to what you said. And when I hear that, I said, man, come on. But I got to do it. And then you have to protect your peace. And I know you say, well, my protecting my peace means I'm going to cut everybody off. Nope. Because isolation is good for some reason, but it's not good to stay isolated your whole entire life. No. Well, Jaheim, you don't know how I've been hurt in the past. Yeah, me too. Jaheim, you don't know how I've been betrayed in the past. Yeah, me too. Jaheim, I've been hurt by family members. Yeah, me too. Jaheim, I've been hurt by coworkers. Yeah, me too. Jaheim, I've been hurt by people that I love deeply. Yeah, me too. But that doesn't mean everybody out here is meant to hurt you. That doesn't mean everyone out here is looking to kill you, looking to destroy you. No, there are some good people out here that you have yet to meet, but you ain't gonna meet them trying to isolate yourself. And so you have to build healthy boundaries. And here it is. Boundaries aren't walls to protect you. They're guidelines. So protecting the peace doesn't mean avoiding people. Sometimes I gotta look the people dead in their face who done me wrong. I ain't gonna avoid you. I'ma still love on you. I'ma still do, but it may be from a distance. There go that boundaries. You may not have the same proximity to me, but I don't hate you. Because guess what? I don't got time to hate. I got too many things I want to do in life. Too many places I want to see. And so if you sitting here hating on everybody that betrayed you, hating on everybody that left you, hating on everybody that walked away, hate on everybody that dismayed, hate on everybody that broke your heart, that made your mind wander, that destroyed, that tried to destroy your image, you would be so busy hating them that you're not looking for the love and the peace that is next to you. Here it is. For all those relationships, you so be worried about what your ex doing, how your ex doing, how you doing this, and the love of your life that's meant to love you could be right in your face. I've been there before. I've chosen wrong before. And I had to, but here it is. I didn't beat my, here it is. I'm gonna go down there. Here it is. For those who chose love and maybe you felt like you chose the wrong partner, girlfriend or boyfriend, and you don't trust yourself to love again. Can I tell you this? It is okay to love again. It is okay to open your heart back up to create that space of love. You don't got to keep second guessing yourself, or you don't got to keep hating them. That's not doing you good. Because I tell you, I promise you, they moved on. I promise you, they're living their life. Yeah, they may think about you occasionally, but they're not harboring this hate or harboring trying to figure out why. No, move on and go find your circles and create better boundaries so maybe this doesn't happen again. And then here it is, communication. Learning when to say yes and learning sometimes when to say no. Communication, that's what many of us lack. We lack communication. We don't know how to talk to people. We don't know how to express our feelings. So we'll say yes to something we really don't want to do, I will say no to something because we scared of getting hurt, but what we really want to do, we really want to do it. So, what is one boundary that you need to improve in your life? What is one perspective that you need to improve in your life? What is one list that you need? There are improvements in your life. And here it is. How do we know when we're protecting your peace versus you're avoiding people? Many of us, we say, oh, I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace. No, you avoiding people because you're scared of the hurt. You're scared of embracing the hurt and learning from the hurt. embracing the heartbreak. So I'm avoiding people. I'm doing this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop it. You're not. And so here it is. One thing you have to do is check your circle. Every now and then I check my circle. I'm not announcing. I'm not sitting in the group chat. Y'all, I'm checking. I'm listening to you. Here it is. But I told y'all about Michaela. She's so observant. I'm listening to you. Okay, if you keep that stuff, we still gonna be friends, but I'm not gonna share all my dreams. I'm not gonna share all my aspirations to you because your negativity might kill it. Your negativity might kill it. Here it is. I don't gotta share everything with you. I don't gotta tell you every dream. I don't gotta tell you no. I'm just listening. I'm checking my circle. I encourage you, check your circle, whether that means church, family, co-workers. There's sometimes you can't talk to every coworker. You can't be buddy with every coworker. Hey, have a good day. Yep, thank you. Go ahead. Good job. Every friend, there's some friends you can talk long hours. There's some friends, hey, okay, you giving them 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes, I gotta go. I gotta go because you got a lot going on and I'm praying for you. I'm helping you, but you don't reach your limit for the day. And here it is. And that's not being a bad friend. That's just knowing, okay. Family members. So look, when I'm in an environment, family members, I can tolerate for too long. But then here now, I got the power now. When I was young, I didn't have the power. When I had the power, I had the power now. I got a car. I can go. I got a house. I can go to. I don't know. I love y'all. I love my family dearly. But no, I don't have to. And there it is. I don't have to argue with you. No, I love you. But look, okay, you reach your limit. But you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself and know where you're going. And so checking for who is inspiring you, one relationship that you want to strengthen, one relationship that you got to get rid of, one relationship, person that you want to intentionally encourage today. Because I want to encourage y'all to reach out to someone. Reach out to someone who inspires you, who challenge you, who challenge you or has invested in your life, and have a meaningful conversation. Ask thoughtful questions. Learn from them. And then ask yourself, am I surrounded by the people who are helping me become who I really want to be? Are you? And if you got to leave some homeboys, some homegirls, some cousins, some uncles, some aunties, some parents, some kids, some jobs, some churches, some environments, delete people off your social media, got to block. You got to do that, but you got to ask yourself, who's in my circle? Who's in your circle, man? Who is in your circle? And who is helping you to become better? Because the people in your life won't determine your every decision you make, but they're influencing many of them. So choose relationships that are encouraging growth, honesty, accountability. Let me say that again: accountability and purpose. And at the same time, try to become the person that you would want in your circle. Love your family. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe at Jaheim President TV on YouTube. Follow us at Legacy Builders Podcast on Instagram, Legacy Builders Podcast on TikTok. Find us on Facebook. We're at everywhere that has a podcast. We're here and we're there. All right. Love your family. See y'all next week.